Alrighty, thank you for joining tonight's press conference from Citi Field. We're joined by head coach Pat Noonan. If you have a Zoom question, please use the raise hand function and we will get to you time permitting. We'll start with questions here in person after a statement from Coach on tonight's match.
Poor first half, good response in the second half, but on the night, just not enough. Not enough composure with the ball, and then when we did find some good moments to create, I think we rushed a lot of those plays, and plenty to look at and work on, but not a good enough night.
Pat, I think you mentioned to Tommy on the radio at halftime, you described the first half as we stunk. What was the difference between the second half and the first half that kind of changed that part of the game?
Our pressing wasn't good enough in the first half, and it caused us to have to defend, in unnecessary ways closer to goal, and they certainly have creativity and good 1v1 attackers, some good crossing moments, but yeah, we just put ourselves in too many difficult spots, and then composure with the ball was poor. So it's hard to have any rhythm in the game when you don't do those two things well.
You've described the performances the last, even among a 5-game win streak as not being at your best. And do you think this match fits along that trend, or is tonight seeing new problems?
No, this was, I think, a level below some of the other performances. We're looking for consistency and, hitting, reaching a higher bar than we have. So we'll continue to search for that.
Roman Celentano seemed to have a strong match, kept you in the game. What did you make of him, and how
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah, I thought he was one of the better performers. Some good saves he made, in the first half to kind of keep us in it, and that was the message at halftime. We're fortunate enough to be in the spot where we can go out and try to come back from a 1-goal deficit only. So Roman was part of that and did a good job with some of his distribution, his kicking, and coming off his line for some crosses. So, strong night for him.
All right, we'll move to the Zoom now with Laurel Failer.
Thank you. You mentioned the passing that kind of led to their goal with the turnover. Do you feel like the passing should be better at this point? Because I know we talked about just the changes in the lineup and trying to develop that chemistry, but at what point do you really expect those connections to really start showing more on the field?
It should look more like the second half than the first half. First half wasn't good, second half was. So we just, didn't have the level of composure necessary. But we've had plenty of good moments, some moments not as good, and we're looking for consistency there.
In a game where the narrowness of the field is going to impact play, how much do you feel like you missed Pavel and Obi just for what they've been able to do in connecting passes in the middle?
We had a strong enough group. You did a good job. Dotto did a good job. Brian, I don't think the midfield was the problem at all today with how we performed.
And then with Matt Miazga, I know we've talked about just his progression coming back from injury. Are you seeing him, get to the level that you would expect coming back from that injury, or is he having to overcompensate for, as he's trying to get back his sharpness and maybe just his fitness?
I don't think he's overcompensating. I think this is just where he's at. We're trying to build his, his endurance, his sharpness, and he's still, I don't know how many games back now, but I don't think he's close to the level he's capable of. I think he knows that as well, and that's not a knock on him. That's just where he's at in his, from his, return to play from a long injury. I don't think that's uncommon. So he'll only improve.
Do you have anything else, Laurel?
I'm good, thank you.
Pardon?
Pat, in the second half, it seemed like you guys came out with a pretty different formation from what you guys have played with, mostly a back four. How much do you contribute that change to maybe some of the successes you saw versus just what you were describing as better performances?
Yeah, the personnel was changed, but a lot of what we did with and without the ball didn't change. It was just a matter of, getting Sergio on the field. Thought his speed could help us, and he's been in decent form, and we knew Dotto was going to be a change at halftime. So how it looked with and without the ball, was similar to how we approached the first half and how things should have looked more consistently in the first half.